if I can give advice to myself, I feel like just put yourself there and just do it. No matter how you feel bad it is, just go for it.
Nur, thank you for joining us here today on the Go at Madhav. For those that do not know you, could you please tell us a bit more about yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Nur Habibah, and I live in Scotland, United Kingdom, and I own a personal brand strategist on LinkedIn.
Awesome. So before we get to what are you doing nowadays, I'd like to go back in time to what were you doing just when you were graduating from university. So could you please tell us what did you study for your undergrad?
Yeah, so I study civil engineering for a degree and also my master. So I choose civil engineering because I always been fascinated by how things are built and how infrastructure shape our daily life. So it feel like a practical way to contribute to society. And plus, my family has a background in engineering, so it was like kind of a natural fit for me, and studying at the University of Strathclyde for my master just seemed like the right next step to deepen my knowledge and skill in civil engineering.
So you decided to do both your undergraduate and your master's in civil engineering.
Yes, exactly.
Was there a moment when you realized you wanted to go from doing civil engineering into marketing and content strategy? What made you make that decision to change careers?
So my journey into marketing began like when with my passion for fashion. So I always love expressing myself like through clothing and dream of having my own clothing brand one day. So as I explore that dream, I found myself like drawn to the marketing side of industry where the creativity involved in promoting fashion, connecting with audience, and telling compelling brand stories. So this interest led me to explore marketing as a career path. So where I could combine my love for fashion with my skill in communicating and strategy.
When you discovered this passion, were you already living in the UK at this time, or were you living somewhere else around the world?
No, so I discovered this passion when I was a kid because, like I said before, always love fashion. So it's been when I was a kid in Malaysia.
So you grew up in Malaysia
Yes,
before you
exactly.
decided to move to the UK. And you did your bachelor's in Malaysia.
Yes, exactly.
Why did you decide to come to Scotland specifically?
It's like I never planned to came to the UK. I just searching and asking some people opinions about where should I continue my master. Especially I asked my lecturers in my university, and they suggest to me some a few like a great university to study. So I read about University of Cyclide, and that's why I choose to move to Scotland.
Since you've now been in the UK, I'm guessing for a couple of years now,
Yeah, yeah.
how did you come up with the way to put yourself out there, especially on LinkedIn and using social media day to day as part of your daily job?
So before that, I only know LinkedIn as for people who looking for a job. Like I don't know what is personal branding is. So at that time, I'm looking for a job, and then I go to LinkedIn to just find a job. And at that time, I already have like great CV. I have portfolio, but people say that it's not enough. Nowadays, you have to have personal branding, and that's where I start learning about what is personal branding, and from that, it just leads me to where I am today.
So this was more of a self-discovery journey. It was
Yes.
you on your own. So with personal branding, why did you choose personal branding as part of the type of services that you offer?
So it's me. Before this, I don't know like how to share my story because I feel like very small of myself. I don't think I have a lot of things to share. But when I just put myself out there and tell just a small little thing, like when I went to the shop or when I buy my coffee, and people think like it's very interesting, and so I will like, oh wow, people very find this exciting. So I like want to tell people to like just go out there and tell your story because you have no idea where your story lead to.
And what would you say has been a moment in your journey so far that you're very proud of?
I think I say my proudest moment was when I launched my personal brand. It took a lot of courage to put myself out there and share my journey and insight. But the response here has been very overwhelming positive. So it's been incredible to connect with people and help them their branding journeys.
with the branding journey, how do you also deal with the rejection and the like imposter syndrome, self-doubt? Because that also comes into when you're also putting yourself out there.
So rejection definitely can sting, but I view it as part of the journey. So I remind myself every single day that it's not personal. Sometimes it just doesn't fit. So I take a step back, analyze what went wrong, and then use that as a fuel to improve myself every day.
Do you feel like you're getting better now when it comes to dealing with rejection?
Yeah. So even though nowadays when people say no to me, I just like, okay, let's move on to the next. So yeah, that's how.
Nice. And would you say that when it came to putting yourself out there, do you just put yourself out there on LinkedIn, or is it other social media platforms or services that you tend to use?
Before that, I already have experience in TikTok and Instagram, and I handle my sister TikTok. So she's basically like influencer, and so I'm
Okay.
the strategist behind her portfolio. So yeah, so but for my service, I only go on for LinkedIn.
Okay, so you're just LinkedIn.
Mhm.
And you taught yourself, you didn't do any courses.
I did learn courses, but it's not like paid courses. I just learned from YouTube, from TikTok, and I read some books.
When it came to the whole realization that this is what you wanted to do, how did you like, did you tell your friends about it? Like, did you tell your family? How did they react to it?
So, well, my family find it's not a good thing because I already have a good portfolio behind my back. Like civil engineering is a good thing to do, but my family think like marketing is just not a way for me to live. But I try to convince them like so many times, and they see me what I'm doing right now is very well. So that's like okay, just go for it if you want to.
So would you say it's more to the like stereotypical Asian standards of
Yes,
like
exactly.
the Asian families of they want you to pursue your degree in civil engineering? Was that your decision or your parents' decision to make you study that?
Because of all like every my sibling have civil no engineering background, so I have to go for it.
But then you decided to go after your passion later on.
Yeah,
Are you glad that you made that decision to stick with what you're doing right now?
yeah, because like I'm some people like don't like their job, but for me it's the opposite. Like I'm so happy to like I wake up every single day to do my job, and I love doing it.
That's good. And for people who want to put themselves out there or are very scared to doing it, especially on LinkedIn, because on LinkedIn you see a lot of people posting their like job applications or like job updates, getting a new job, getting a promotion, celebrating themselves like milestones. But also, it takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there and share your vulnerability, the side that you don't really want to share, like your failures and rejections. So, what would you advise to people who should be putting themselves out there on LinkedIn but don't have the confidence to do that?
So I know it's great to put yourself out there to write your content because that's how I feel my for my first post. But you just get getting better every single day. So you just write whatever you have in your mind, even though you think like it's nothing, it's just a small matter. But once you put yourself out there, you will get out from your comfort zone, and you feel like oh, people feel the same way that I feel. So it's like you're not alone. You're in your own community. So just go for it.
So, how did you build a community? Because that was great. I really liked what you just said right now. How did you build a community of many, many followers that you have on LinkedIn? Like, obviously, everyone has to start from scratch. So, how did you make a difference? What do you think stood out with you for people to want to work with you or for people want to follow your journey?
So first of all, like it's not you have to understand that this is a long term success. You won't get success overnight. For me, it's been like I already on LinkedIn for a few years, but I just start posting consistently like for 11 months now, and I spend time here for 6-7 hours per day, which is not sustainable. Okay, please don't do this. So, but to find your own tribe is go find people that can be in your vibe, like attract good positive. For me, like sometimes when I see like negativity on LinkedIn, I just block that people because I don't want like my people to be in negative situations. So I like to go to the DM, just talk to people. Don't think like it's very professional. You have to be strict. Just go like you meet your friends. So I talk to them like I talk to my friends in real life. So that how I build my friends.
So do you consider your community very
Mm-hmm.
loyal and people who will have your back? That's the most important thing
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah. So people who been here with me on Lincoln since day one, they're still here with me right now. So they know my journey, like from nothing to where I am today.
Wow. And have you met some of them in person, like in real life?
No, because we all like live in different countries, so it's hard for me to meet them. Yeah.
Uh, have you been able to meet one or two, though, at least, of the people you've worked with through LinkedIn?
For me, I so far not yet, but I will go to London and meet a few people.
Nice, nice. And what are you up to nowadays?
Right now, I'm working as a freelance copywriter with Mentoria Digitals, and I'm also focused on building my brand and helping others to do the same. So it's very a busy time for me, but very fulfilling, and I'm excited about the project that I'm involved in. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Would you say that where would you like to see yourself in the next 5 years' time?
So I hope that I still be doing what I'm doing, and I will be helping others people to talk about their story on LinkedIn every single day. So it's just I want people, if I can give advice to myself, I feel like just put yourself there and just do it. No matter how you feel bad it is, just go for it. So yeah, that's it.
When you first moved to the UK,
Mm-hmm.
so talking about putting yourself out there as well, not just on like in a professional sense when it comes to like LinkedIn and what you do, but also in a personal experience wise when you moved to the UK. How did you use that as a way to put yourself out there? Did you feel like when you had to move from Malaysia to the UK, was that a way for you to step out of your comfort zone? And was that what made it easier later on for you to do your LinkedIn and put yourself out there online?
So I think it's easier for me because since I was like 13 years old, I always away from my family. It's me like I study in the different state. So I always away from my comfort zone and from my family. So I'm just getting used to it. But like when I first get my master, that is my first time to go to the UK by myself, and which I have no anyone like any contact in the UK. So that is like okay, I'm in very like foreign country. I barely speak English that time, and so it's kind of hard for me. So that is put me in a hard situation, but also teach me a lot about a new thing.
So would you say that the journey between your personal life
Mhm.
has helped a lot in terms of your professional life as well? Because you're very used to not being on your comfort zone rather than actually stepping out of your comfort zone. So you feel like your personal journey has helped a lot for you to get to the stage where you were like, okay, if I can do this by myself, I can then really fulfill my passion. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, exactly.
And how do you believe in yourself? Because many times, again, we all deal with self doubt when it comes to also in a business, careers, work, day to day perspective. Obviously, we'll have good days and bad days because you seem very, very confident and you know yourself inside out. So, how do you keep going back to yourself and, in a way, know that it's you, like you can define your own self worth? How do you know that?
So for me, I have my own motto in life, which means even though a whole world against me, but as long as I believe myself, I can do anything. So that is how I live myself. So for me, even though whatever people said about me, if negative thing came to me, I was like, okay, this is me. I just gonna do what I want to do, and I believe in that. So it's gonna be in positive way. Always try stay in your positive mindset and positive surroundings. So I don't have a lot of people, but people around me, supportive community, some supportive people, and this is where I want it to be.
Okay. Would you say that there is an example of a personal branding client you had or an experience? So, whether that was through your copywriting work, your content strategy, or marketing, is there one particular experience you found very memorable with the client, and why was it very memorable?
So for me, it's because I don't think that this is a service. I just do it because I love to, but because of my writing and my love for stories, and people came to my DM say, "Hey, I love your content. It's so resonate to me, and can you do it for me?" So that is how I start to offering my service, and I think that when I writing for my clients, I not only writing, but I also listen to their story and talk on their behalf. So that is mean like writing, copywriting is just a very great thing for me, and I love hearing their stories.
Was there a particular project you enjoyed working on the most, and why was that a very memorable project for you?
So the most memorable is when I do design content. It means that I have to write and also do the graphic design. First of all, I do not like have a degree in content design or graphic design, so it's mean like I have to learn from scratch. So I go to YouTube. I take a lot of time to learn how to do it, and then it take me like a few months to learn the basic, and then I do just do it. It's a long process, but I just enjoy. And the most memorable thing is when every time I write or do something, the client just love it and say like, oh, this is so great, this is awesome, I love your writing, I love the way how you put my story. So that is make me always feel like memorable and so happy.
So, what was it like working with your first ever client?
So it's just feel like so excited because oh, I'm like wow, it look like someone like my content, look like someone read my content, because my first client never interact with my content at all. Like that person never like, never comment, but he just came to me in the DM. Hey, I like your content. How much you charge for it? So that is like wow, I feel like so excited at that time.
And how long did it take for you to secure this first client?
So it take me 6 months.
6 months just to get your
Yeah.
first client.
Mm-hmm.
Then was it easier after that to get your second client?
Yeah, it's just easier because I know like okay, I know now what is working and what is not. So I just focusing on like specific clients. So that is what I'm aiming for.
Okay, nice. And would you change anything about the journey that you're in right now, or no?
No, for me in my life, I have no regret in what I have been through, because I believe that every journey is the thing that shaped me where I am today. So everything I negative, positive, I take it as a lesson for me to be better in the next day. So yeah, I will never change anything.
Was there a particular moment, would you say, in your life that allowed you to believe in yourself? Was it maybe the fact that you were used to being away from your family since you were a young age? Did that help a lot, allow you to get comfortable within yourself?
Yeah, so it definitely is because when I always away from my family, you always feel like you alone. But at the same time, because I have no one to depend on, then I only have can depend on myself. That how even though you have a lot of difficulty, it's okay. Like oh, it's okay. Even though I'm alone, I can do this. You can do this. So it's the mindset very important for you to believe in yourself.
I really like that as well. What other opportunities has content strategy, personal branding has also brought? Like, has that allowed you to do things that you never thought you've been able to do before?
So I feel like maybe it's to connect with your audience. So when it comes to like building your own personal brand, it's mean you have to connect with your society, talk to people. So I'm such an introvert people, so I don't know like how to talk with people. I don't know how to put myself in there. So I that way I get out from my comfort zone and I learn how to speak to people, like how not to make things awkward. So that is just it was a great experience for me. Yeah.
You're not only doing marketing, but also social media, content strategy, personal branding. What else are you doing?
So I like to do video editing and also graphic design. So I work a few clients do the graphic design for their Instagram. So yeah, so it's me like I have multiple skill that I just use for it.
And how do you usually deal with burnout? Because, like I said as well just now, that you're offering so many different services, and
Mhm.
you're also posting on LinkedIn, you're using it to your full advantage and putting yourself out there. How do you take breaks knowing that you're also trying to find ways to, you know, like do business?
Yeah, so for me, I have like my own routine every single day. So for me to lead me out from burnout, I have 1 hours for me to take a walk every single day. So that day, I just go to the park, take a breath, let myself away from any screen. So just me with music and with the nature. So try to do that every single day. And during the weekends, I will never touch any screen, my phone. I will just completely do my own thing. Like I love reading, so that is just how for me to feel very like peaceful and stay away from any screen.
Okay. I have one last question, and that is, I'm going to say, what would you say to the 21-year-old self near before she decides to start her own, brand into offering these amazing services? What would you say to the near back then who is still doing civil engineering and knows that you want to make your parents proud, but you also want to follow your passion?
So I would like to tell like my 20 years old self to accept every opportunity and not to be afraid to take the risk. So it's okay for you not to have everything figured out. Just trust the journey and be open to change, because sometimes the best experience came from unexpected places.
Yeah, I believe that too as well. I mean, I like doing spontaneous things, so I totally agree on that as well.
Yeah, me too.
So thank you very much, Neil, for joining us here today on the Go at Monif. For people who would like to get in touch with you or learn more about you, what would be the best way for them to do that?
So they just can follow me on LinkedIn, nor Habibah Saidi. So that is my LinkedIn. That is the only place I will be there. So if you have any question how to build a personal branding on LinkedIn, don't afraid to message me. Just do it. I love to help people on the GM. So just go for it.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Nir. And thank you all for listening. Make sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned for the next one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nir.